5 stories breaking right now at 6 o'clock. An illegal immigrant arrested for a brutal murder. Deputies catch him covered in blood driving the dead man's car.
3 deputies accused in a brutal beatdown cleared. New reaction to this video that sparked a nationwide controversy.
Hundreds of pot plants pulled from a remote home. Deputies say this is the biggest grow house bust ever in Collier County.
Legally, this woman's still alive. How do you get this resolved? Nobody can answer me this.
A woman waits a month to bury her dead sister. All new at 6, Call for Action gets results and answers for a grieving woman. But we start with breaking news out of Collier County and a house fire that started about 4:30 this afternoon in Golden Gate Estates. This is on Golden Gate Boulevard West.
Renee Stoll is live for us there. Renee.
Guys, I got to tell you, this is some fire out here. It's at 1361 Golden Gate Boulevard West, and I'm going to have you take a look at our mast cam on top of our truck because you can see this fire has spread severely through this house. Now, Chief Metzger with the Golden Gate Fire Department tells me that heavy, thick black smoke was on the right side of the structure as soon as they got here. In fact, we have a picture that we received that shows this house fully engulfed in flames. I'm told by the chief that hurricane glass windows actually kept a lot of this heat inside the house and possibly even made this fire spread even faster. And Chief Metzger says that he can't confirm that it started in the attic, but it did spread to the attic, which really doomed the house. Now, I can only say that he can only say that there are circumstances that have raised some questions about this fire, and they have called the fire marshal. I'd like to take a look also at the traffic that is backed up on Golden Gate Boulevard. I want to let you know that Golden Gate Boulevard, if you are going eastbound, it's very slow going. Westbound has been cut off altogether, so I wouldn't even try to go that way. I tried to find an alternate route, excuse me. I do want to let you know that this was an occupied dwelling as well. Somebody was living inside this house, and it's actually a house that a lot of people traveling on this road have noticed because it's so large in size. We're going to stay out here and get you further information. Reporting live in Golden Gate, Renee Stoll, Wink News Now.
All right, we understand everybody in there is safe. Renee, thank you. Also breaking right now, a 2-year-old run over by a car. This happening about an hour ago at a home on Wildwood Court in Punta Gorda, which is several miles east of I-75. We just learned the child was taken by helicopter to Lee Memorial Hospital and landed there about 15 minutes ago. We'll let you know how he's doing when we find out. Also breaking right now, deputies arrest an illegal immigrant covered in blood.
Investigators say he was driving a truck owned by a man found dead inside his home. This all started early this morning at a home on Arbutus Street in East Naples. Erin Maloney has been on the scene all afternoon. She's there with today's breaking developments.
Yeah, deputies have been here for about 16 hours now, and you can see the neighborhood covered in this crime scene tape. They're investigating who killed 66-year-old Kenneth Christ inside of his own home. Kenneth Christ's neighbors heard commotion late last night from his home on Arbutus Street in Naples.
I heard yelling, and then it sounded like a large vehicle taking off fast, making noise.
But deputies say it wasn't Chris driving away. They pulled over Santos Martinez Lopez on Bayshore Drive after 1 this morning. He was covered in blood, and according to the arrest report, he had a bloody pipe wrench in the backseat of Chris' green SUV. Deputies traced the license plate back to Chris' address and went inside his home to find him dead.
A deputy found the door open, could see the victim, saw blood on the victim, immediately called for EMS.
Chris' friend Miro Pole is shocked. Pole saw the 66-year-old a few days before he was killed, and he looked hurt.
Bloody nose and bloody around the eyes.
Pole says he doesn't know if the 2 incidents are connected, but the crime has the whole neighborhood on edge.
He's a nice guy. I can't imagine who would want to do this to him.
Now, deputies are not saying the cause of death tonight, but according to records, Chris had some serious head wounds, and it's also important to point out that the suspect in this case is an illegal alien. For now, live in Naples, Erin Maloney, Wink News Now.
All right, Erin, thank you. Developing right now, this dash cam video caused outrage across the country. Deputies beat a suspect after he claims he was already in handcuffs. Tonight, an investigation clears all 3 of those deputies who were accused of using excessive force. Nicole Papageorge is live at the NAACP headquarters in Fort Myers tonight with reaction to today's new developments.
This is where Flournoy first made those charges against the Collier County Sheriff's Office. He lives here in Fort Myers, and tonight the NAACP says they still believe the Sheriff's Office used excessive force. Wink News was first to show you this video of Corey Flournoy, a passenger in this traffic stop, being handcuffed and punched by Collier deputies. The driver led deputies on a high-speed chase along I-75.
The incident that both Mr. Palmer and Mr. Flournoy was in was dangerous and violent, both to the community and to the deputies that were involved.
Collier Sheriff Kevin Rambosk says Flournoy resisted arrest, and in that case, they're trained to get him handcuffed.
The deputies acted in accordance with policy of this agency.
But the NAACP, who made the complaint against deputies, says the sheriff's office is wrong.
Mr. Flournoy denies that he attempted to resist on the ground. He was scared for his life.
The sheriff's office says Flournoy was hit, but it was only to distract him so they could cuff him, not to inflict pain. Deputies also say the moments that led up to Flournoy's arrest were dangerous. Here you can see driver Kevin Palmer running a trooper's vehicle off the road.
We're lucky we didn't bury an FHP trooper in this incident.
But the NAACP says Flournoy didn't resist arrest and shouldn't have been hit. They plan on helping him obtain legal counsel. Both Flournoy and Palmer were found guilty in this case. Live in Fort Myers, Nicole Papageorge, Wink News Now.
All right, thank you, Nicole. Also breaking tonight, deputies raid a remote Collier County home and make one of their biggest grow house busts ever. Deputies discovered hundreds of plants inside a home on Honeybee Drive near the Corkscrew Swamp Sanctuary. We have photos from inside the home where deputies pulled hundreds of pot plants this morning. Collier deputies arrested 46-year-old Lazaro Cordero Becerra. He faces drug trafficking and possession charges.
New details coming in. A Cape Coral student accused of stabbing at least 10 classmates with a diabetic needle is now in police custody. The Calusa Middle School student allegedly started pricking students on the school bus on Monday and then carried on doing that throughout the entire day. Now Cape Coral police are charging the juvenile with 3 counts of misdemeanor battery.
Developing tonight, a Sarasota mother accused of trying to drown her own children was found incompetent to stand trial. Today, a judge ordered Brittany Livingston placed in a mental health center. She'll be reevaluated in 6 months. Livingston is accused of holding her 2 kids underwater in Port Charlotte back in March. Witnesses and a Charlotte deputy were able to save the children.
Also in the news at 6 o'clock, a woman living in fear after somebody intentionally set her home on fire.
She says she knows who did it, and he's still out there. It happened Monday morning around 12:30 on 433 Southwest 9th Street. Sarah Pusateri has the scary details.
Dawn Goucher says she's living in fear.
I'm petrified.
Someone set a fire in the storage area of her Cape Coral home.
I know exactly who did this. He called me and told me he was going to do this.
The 47-year-old mother of 3 says just hours before the fire, she got a threatening call from a man she knows.
He was in a frenzy and said that he was going to come over here, he was going to destroy my son's car, he was going to torch my house, and he was going to make my life a living hell.
Already on edge, Goucher says she told police and then locked all the doors in her home. Soon after, she smelled smoke. Now afraid her stalker will strike again, Goucher is praying that investigators will make a quick arrest.
I am in danger until he is put behind bars.
Sarah Pusateri, Wink News Now.
New developments tonight about a Bonita Springs church that went up in flames earlier this week. Wink News has learned the church also robbed before the fire. Leaders at the Tabernacle of Praise Community Church noticed $2,000 worth of equipment missing following the assessment last night. They thought the assessment was for the fire. Congregation members plan on having services again at a nearby church this weekend, while the pastor is planning to build a new church.
A memorial for Fort Myers Canine Police Officer Roscoe will be held tomorrow. Since the announcement of this service, our Facebook page has been buzzing with those for and against the event. David Bowden takes a look at the controversy.
There is no question of Canine Officer Roscoe's dedication, making the ultimate sacrifice in pursuit of an armed suspect.
He died helping to protect his handler and the other officers that were there, and he was trying to catch the bad guy.
But shortly after we aired information regarding the Canine's funeral service, our website began to light up with people questioning the service and those defending the memorial. This is what we were told last week at Fort Myers PD.
It's a very tragic event, and the dog has earned the right to be mourned the way a police officer would.
Some members of the Lee County Sheriff's Office will be attending, and the agency may even offer support staff to fill in for members of the Fort Myers Police Department who will attend the funeral. When Wink News inquired to Sheriff Mike Scott about the issue, he sent us an email response that read in part, "While blog entries may have guided you to your request for an interview, I have my trust and confidence in the overwhelming majority of real-world, real-time, everyday folks from all walks of life that think it is shameful of media to focus on this issue." In Lee County, I'm David Bowden. Wink News Now.
Now, right now, we're getting a lot of comments on on this story on our Facebook page. If you'd like to chime in, check out winknews.com. The funeral for Roscoe will be tomorrow morning at McGregor Baptist Church.
Tonight, Wink News is uncovering new details about a bed bug outbreak across Southwest Florida.
Today, workers reopened the Fort Myers Library. They had to fumigate because of a big infestation. But tonight, we're learning more itchy infestations could be on the way. Senior reporter Mike Walcher is here to explain.
That's right. The Fort Myers Library reopened this morning, but one exterminator who has gotten special training in fighting bed bugs is telling us the infestations are likely to get a lot worse throughout the area. Book lovers return to the library, most claiming they don't have a case of the creepy crawlies.
If they took care of the problem they seem to feel they have, then, you know, I think it's okay to reopen.
Lee County also confirms it fumigated Lakes Regional Library last Thursday after discovery of bugs. That was a holiday. The library was closed to the public. Exterminators tell us bed bugs could travel in books. The insects are tiny, they have no skeletons, so they can flatten themselves and hide easily. Exterminator Ivan Starkey predicts we'll see more infestations soon. He's attended special training in New Jersey in fighting bed bugs. He believes some snowbirds will bring bugs with them when they come here this fall and winter.
I believe that we have a bed bug problem in Southwest Florida, and I think now we're starting to realize what kind of problem we do have.
The Lee Health Department does not keep track of bed bug cases. They are not a reportable incident under state law. Lee County workers will conduct regular bed bug inspections of all libraries starting at once. I'm Mike Walcher, Wink News Now.
We just can't go through the normal grieving process, and we feel like the doctors are holding us hostage.
All new at 6, an unusual call for action request. One missing signature means a family can't bury their loved one.
Tonight, our chief investigator gets them results and helps bring them closure.
Well, it's not completely dry in all of South Florida. Will the drying trend continue into the weekend? And I have the latest on one tropical storm and 2 hurricanes when I come back.